Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today we're going to be talking about a potential signing for the Houston Texans. As the Houston Texans today at camp worked out veteran cornerback Ronald Darby, who has spent his last couple seasons with the Denver Broncos, spent last season and the 2021 season with Denver. Only in those two seasons, though, he's only played 16 games, but all 16 games he's played for Denver in the last two seasons he's started in every game. But at the same time, he's been in the NFL since 2017 and has played 89 games and has started in 88 of them. So he's been a player throughout his career that's really been a starter pretty much throughout his whole career. I mean, the only game, he's 2017 with the Eagles, played 8 games and 7 starts. It was the only game in that year that he'd ever played a game without having a start. So, I mean, for being in the NFL since 2017, only playing 89 games, it feels like a little. I mean, there's a lot of single-digit season. I mean, only played 8 games in 2017, 9 games in 2018, 5 games in 2022, 11 in 2019, 14 in 2016. So injuries have, been in his past in the NFL, especially the last 2 seasons with Denver only playing 16 games in the last 2 years. But I still think this, could be a good addition. I mean, it's not official yet, but the Texans, they've added in a lot of depth at the cornerback position this offseason. And I mean, I would be down for the Texans to make this move right here and bring him in. I mean, do I think they will sign him? I mean, I would love it for the Texans, but I think it's very unlikely due to how much talent the Texans have at the cornerback position. I mean, there's decent talent there, but it's the amount of depth they have. You have the third overall pick in the 2021 NBA and the 21 NFL draft, and Derek Stingley Jr. You have Desmond King. You have Desmond King Jr. You have Shaq Griffin. So they signed Shaquille Griffin. I think he's going to be a great addition. They still have Steven Nelson from last year. And then besides those 4 guys, those are the 4 main guys for the Texans cornerback room. Besides those guys, you have other guys that are decent corners. I think they drafted Brandon Hill in the 7th round. He's a decent corner. No, never mind. He's a safety. They have a couple other decent veterans. Kendall Sherfield. I think there's a couple other corners on this roster. So there's a lot of competition in that corner room, and I definitely wouldn't mind the Texans bringing in another guy to that depth at the corner position. Let's look at some of his stats. So let's go over his last 3 or 4 seasons, since that goes back to 2019. Maybe we'll go as far as 2018 with the Eagles. He's played for a couple teams. He's played for the Bills. 2 seasons with Buffalo, and that's who drafted him in the 3rd round of 2015. Played 2 seasons with them, then played 3 seasons with the Eagles, played 1 season with the Commanders, and his last 2 seasons with the Denver Broncos. So this season played 5 games, 5 starts, 3 passes deflected, 1 forced fumble. He had 0 interceptions. He's not had an interception since 2019. 14 combined tackles. So this year was a little bit of a struggling year just because he wasn't playing a lot. But he did have 14 tackles with 3 passes deflected and 1 forced fumble in only 5 games. 2021, played 11 games with 11 starts, 0 interceptions. Of course, he doesn't have one since 2019. 6 passes deflected, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumble recoveries, 0 sacks. I mean, he has 0 sacks in his 7-year career. And 53 tackles in those 11 games with 1 tackle for loss. Then 2020 with the Commanders, he played both right and left cornerback and played all 16 games. Yeah, I think so. There was still 16 games in 2020. So played all 16 games with 16 passes deflected, 1 fumble recovery, 55 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. And then 2019 with the Eagles, he played 11 games with 11 starts, 2 interceptions, 29 yards that he returned those 2 interceptions for, 0 touchdowns. So he has 0 touchdowns in his career. His longest interception return was 16 yards, 11 passes deflected. 37 tackles with 1 tackle for loss. And then I'll go over the 2018 season with the Eagles, and that'll be the last year I go over. 9 games, 9 starts, 1 interception, returned that for 16 yards, and 12 passes deflected, 43 tackles with 1 tackle for loss. So he's definitely a decent veteran. He's a solid corner. If he's a guy who could stay healthy, I would love the Texans to bring him in. I just think the only thing really is that, they have so much depth at the corner position with Stingley, King, Desmond King Jr., Steven Nelson, Shaquille Harrison, Shaquille Griffin, even Kendall Sherfield, and there's a couple other guys I'm probably missing. Texans have a lot of depth, so I don't really know if they will bring in Ronald Darby, but he would definitely be a decent addition for the Houston Texans. Use your thoughts. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Texans.